Et yo les gens, c'est SkyWhait, et aujourd'hui on se prend une vidéo sur The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, le mode DLC Maids Deception 2. Donc dans ce mode DLC on va continuer du coup notre rôle de commandant, en espérant que pour le moment le gameplay vous plaît de ce jeu, je trouve assez incroyable. Enfin de ce mode DLC pour le moment je le trouve assez sympathique, j'espère qu'il sera long, quand je dis long ce sera minimum une dizaine d'heures, je serais content s'il y avait plus d'une dizaine d'heures. J'ai regardé le trailer sur internet, alors il est très moyen, c'est pour ça que je ne l'ai pas mis en mode... je vous l'ai pas montré. Mais le trailer a l'air très très intéressant. Et il nous montre qu'il y aura des trucs très très intéressants par la suite. C'est un petit peu long à charger. Donc on a du coup Samantha, Lily et Mélène. Lilith.
On the ledge is Moline, a recent addition to our league, and an adaptable warrior in any environment. Over here is Samantha. We joined Serenity Sirens at the same time. She specializes in enemy tactics and history.
Wait,
cool.
That's it? Come on, Lilith, introduce yourself.
The commander knows who I am.
No, you know what I mean. Don't be so modest. Promote your skills. Give the commander something to look forward to.
Samantha! She can judge for herself when we're in combat.
Jeez, Lilith is a mean dual-wielding maniac.
Damn it, Samantha! Show some respect. Lilith is in charge of this mission. Are you planning on treating the commander the same way?
I didn't mean to.
We can continue this conversation on the carriage. Talia is waiting.
Ok. Là, on a une meuf assez énervée, donc on a... Ok, je commence à comprendre les personnalités. Elle est peut-être un petit peu... J'ai envie de pas de dire timide, mais un peu renfermée, limite. Samantha a l'air d'être assez enjouée, c'est-à-dire d'être assez genre une fille assez cool. Et on a du coup... je sais pas où elle est. Merlin, il me semble, qui est assez... assez sérieux dans son travail. Et on a du coup aussi Talia.
There are 4 checkpoints. We'll be stopping at 2 on the way to Winterhold, and the other 2 on the way back from Dawnstar. There are sirens posted at each one. If you have to take care of personal business on the trip, the rest of the team will be waiting at the last visited checkpoint. The agents with the scout reports will be waiting at the local taverns. I'll need to be present so I can recite the code word and get the papers. If they're smart, they'll strike after checkpoint 4.
Ouais, et l'embuscade qui est prévue.
Getting back up from the palace isn't as easy with visitors coming and going. They know that. We're ready when you are. Hop on the carriage and we'll be on our way.
Let's get on this.
Great to see all of you so excited to head out. Just say the word and we're
Bah
off.
c'est parti.
It'll be a bumpy ride. Hold on.
Et ben go. Elles ont des voix incroyables, hein. Donc ok, c'est ma petite équipe du coup, de sirènes. J'ai un peu du mal à comprendre le fonctionnement, mais ok, je commence à décrypter un petit peu les mentalités, etc. des gens. Je vais parler à Lilith. Ah, sauvegarde automatique, c'est moyen. Déjà, je vais essayer de parler à tout le monde un petit peu.
What is she doing? Oh, forgive me. I was distracted.
Salut.
Yes. I promise it won't happen again. All's well over here.
Je sais qu'elle aime bien être sérieuse, donc tu peux te déconcentrer, mais... Je pourrais lui dire, y a pas de problème, mais en même temps, j'ai envie de lui dire que focus-toi, quoi, genre, fais pas de la merde, s'il te plaît. Que pensez-vous de ma tarine?
I thought they only existed in fairy tales. But now I'm starting to think otherwise. It might be why so many of the Ashen Sirens feel naturally connected to her, despite her rare appearances outside of her chambers. I know that's my reason. They unintentionally paved the way for the Ashen to find a place to call home, while fighting.
Quel est votre sentiment sur Marcus, la famille Pinter?
Shoot. I wasn't as
Ok,
lucky as the
je veux parler des
town
Ashen.
I have a sliver of opportunity to live a tolerable
Vous disiez quoi avant de
life.
rejoindre les sirènes?
I was a slave in a Sayaci prison camp off the coast of Akavir. I was born there, and I was sure I would die there if I hadn't escaped to the mainland. It's a long story how I ended up in Skyrim, but when I did, it wasn't too long before the Sirens took notice of me. Same reason why most of the other Ashen joined. We have no home.
Ok, Lily, t'as une nouvelle sirène, pourquoi vous
We
êtes
are
engagé?
slaves in Akavir and nomads wandering Tamriel. There is no place for us in this world except with the Sirens. They welcome us with open arms and promise us freedom in exchange for our service. I am happy here. The life of a warrior is what many of us were born to do. It is the only thing we can do. Ashen are a special case. Those of us that are not
Ok,
Sirens
semble bizarre en tant que
often hear
sirène,
stories of a
comme les
great
Ashen.
female Ashen army that will rid the evils of the world. It's something that's passed around among the young girls in Tamriel, hoping for a better life. Every single time a Siren recruiter has approached a young girl, there is no disagreement and no reservation. The girl always joins. That's why so many of us are Ashen. Why waste your time with a non-Ashen who may not join the cause at the end of the observation period? You waste your time, the girl's time, and risk revealing the existence of Serenity's Sirens.
Ouais, qui peut balancer surtout.
Yep.
Là, c'est que, ouais, bah oui.
Now was that fun or what?
Yep. Allez, next episode. Toi.
Just okay? You were asleep most of the
Je dormais,
ride.
donc,
You missed out on all the
j'ai pas suivi.
excitement. Even when the werebear was chasing us up the hill.
Ha.
Can't believe that you slept through Samantha's squealing. Good times. Anyway, I never gave you a proper intro. I'm Talia, one of the few Sirens who bothers to drag you guys out and around Skyrim. It's always a pleasure to serve Lilith's crew. That wasn't too long ago, you know. The last mission I had before this one was to deliver some supplies
C'est quoi
to
avant le
Fort
projet que Curtin
Pazarath.
apparaisse?
And the one before that, I had to take a couple of Sirens into Solitude for those supplies. It's been boring for a very long time. Sometimes you do have to carry some girls into risky missions during the cover of the night. But none of that will compare to what we'll all be doing in the next few days. Yep. Luck of the draw that I'm the one that usually drives them around on their missions. Lilith, Samantha, and I go way back. Malene is a new face, but I like her already. A perfect balance between Lilith's silence and Samantha's boldness. As for you, you're one of the few people who actually talks to me during the mission. That's flattering. Before this whole mess started, some Ashen Sirens wore masks when running around Skyrim. Nothing too eye-catching. We never ran into any problems. Every now and then you'd get a guard asking you to take off your mask. But once they saw that you were an Ashen, they'd let you be. You know, now that I think about it, Marcus was really the only one who pushed the mask rule to disguise ourselves from purity spies. The other higher-ups couldn't care less if you wore a mask or not. Who cares now anyway? Purity can spot an Ashen with or without a mask. Just ask the poor souls at Fort Pazarath.
Ouais, c'est sûr.
There's
Donc
a
ça ne sert
couple, just
à rien.
scouts like me that work the carriages when they have to.
J'ai hâte de voir le bordel que ça va être
There
par
used
contre.
to be a few more, but, well, we lost them after Pazarath. See ya!
Hop 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 hop.
Clear.
J'adore cette musique, mais quand il n'y a pas de combat, c'est spécial. Samantha, dégagez. En fait, c'est moi là.
Purity assassins prefer to use
Un
their
petit peu tout,
arcane
hein.
abilities over weapons.
Ok, il y a de
They
l'écure.
still train to become master swordsmen. History has shown that they're also innovators in combat. Records put together by the Siren's predecessor, the Cleansers, have described their unusual weapons on the battlefield. It was only recently that we discovered that they have been studying Dwemer relics, particularly Centurions. If that's where they're getting their ideas, then we'll have to be very careful. Just by looking at the signs, Marcus and his family thought that Purity was defeated 9 years ago. Then in 156, there was an incident that signaled their return. Purity has a habit of doing that. So, Marcus was wise in believing that they wouldn't just get up and disband after another 50 years. And our Siren Scouts haven't been put to work for nothing. They've gathered shipping logs, tracked convoys that vanished inside empty caves, witnessed disappearing acts out in the middle of nowhere. Not too hard to prove that they existed up to the attacks on Pazaroth and Jonestead. If you know what you're looking for, you can spot the clues. Don't know. Nobody alive can report on how they worked together at Pazaroth, besides telling you that they were effective. Bosca's heroes are exclusively warriors, while Purity specializes in magic. Together, they form a deadly combination. Each assassin prefers working alone. Major battles between
C'est un des projets Purité continue de combattre en groupe tout seul.
exploitable weakness in their defenses when they fight in groups. They are typically in disarray and have little coordination. Gotcha. Wow. You know what? It's as if nothing changed when Marcus died. Matari was basically our leader ever since his kid was born. Maybe even before that. I guess the oldest Sirens will feel sad about losing our founder, but Matari is still alive. There's something about this fact that tells me everything's going to be okay. The reason the Sirens exist is to protect them, but it doesn't have to be the only reason. We know that Project Purity is dangerous, so we will defeat them, with or without the Pinter family.
Ah, j'espère qu'elle s'entraîne bien. Petit camp, donc c'est ça le campement? Oui.
We have a problem. Aradarum is telling me that the Siren Mage we saw by the pool
Alors.
needs to get to the palace.
Ouais.
Protocol states that we can't substitute one mission for another, and...
Enough protocols. I need Alaray out of here now. She's mentally unfit and a burden to me and Emmy. If she ends up getting killed, her blood is on your hands. We've done all we could.
We're expecting an encounter with Purity and the heroes on our route. Alaray would be much safer here than with us.
You would be safer if we got rid of the annoyance. Once she's out of here, I can return to guarding this checkpoint without having to look over at Alaray every minute. You're too predictable, Lilith. Always abiding by the rules. Let me talk some sense into you through this commander.
Ben... Si c'est la meuf là-bas, le problème c'est que s'il reste ici, effectivement, ça risque d'être... juste un crack en fait. Je sais pas pourquoi, mais quand il meurt, les spirits, ça fait ce truc là, je trouve ça super bon. Donc en gros, il y a une meuf qui les emmerde et qu'elle veut partir. C'est quoi le problème? Bien, on peut reprendre ça sur le chariot. Vous avez dit qu'elle est inadaptée mentalement. Ouais. Bon, après, c'est là, on va la prendre. Hein.
Now get Alaray out of my sight. let the Battlemaster know that I'd like to have a word with her about this mess when I get back. And can you tell Lilith something for me? Tell her that Misha is at the next checkpoint. That should rattle her.
Did
Bah
you
écoute,
convince Aradarum to keep Alare here?
la pauvre, on va pas la laisser là, mais...
I hope you understood the risks involved in our mission when you agreed.
Non, bah non, je suis
We
désolé.
can't take Alare back right now, and she can't wander back to the palace alone on foot. But what's done is done. I hope she'll stay down, if and when we're ambushed. Misha, now I
Eh ben,
understand why I haven't seen her for a while at the palace. Aradarum and Misha are two of Freya's pupils. Anyone trained by Freya tends to look at me in disgust. I'd rather not get into it. The memories are painful. Go and get Alare. Tell Talia when we're ready to leave.
Ouais, je vois. Ben, je vais pas la laisser là, la pauvre. Le problème, c'est que je peux comprendre, mais c'est vrai que quand t'as un faible dans un groupe, c'est galère, quoi. Ah, moyen, hein.
I had so many friends. The only friends I had were at the fort. Now they're all dead. I
Ah, je suis
heard
désolé,
she was
hein.
at
Ouais, tu fais
Plaira,
bien.
but
Je
I
te laisse ma
never
belle,
met
mais...
her. Undercover to avoid favoritism. Mother, I want to go home.
Je peux comprendre que... Ah, je suis désolé pour toi, ma cocotte, mais... T'es une sirène, en fait. Faut que tu te réveilles, là, hein.
Are we done here?
Mais bon, c'est normal qu'il y ait des faibles un peu partout. Faut
Huddle
pas...
up, ladies.
Ouais, c'est parti. Je peux comprendre, elle avait des potes et tout, elles sont mortes, mais... Et bon, poste de contrôle numéro 2. Faut pas laisser tomber une sirène.
No matter how many times I hammer this board, it still squeaks.
C'est chiant que ça mette des sauvegardes automatiques.
Need something?
Commander, it's Lilith. I don't think she went up the hill
Ok.
to check in with
Je sais-
Misha.
C'est pas marqué, mais j'ai juste vu...
Don't worry,
Yep.
she's fine. But I think she sat under a tree. She's too afraid to face
Qu'est-ce qui se
Misha
passe?
after the incident. Yes, I don't think Lilith would want me to talk about it. It's something we've kept to ourselves for a very
Sinon,
long
toujours
time.
pas quelque chose.
The only others who know are the ones that were involved. Lilith never loses her calm, but when it comes to dealing with Freya and her students, who knows how she will react. Commander, can you go check on her? We need to leave as soon as we can, for Lilith's sake.
Restez ici. Vous allez mourir.
Tu fais quoi en fait gros T'es sérieux mec? T'es une vieille merde, t'es venu me casser les couilles là? Dans quoi? C'est
I
parti.
couldn't do it. Gods, I couldn't. I'm such a coward.
Paralyte.
I tried, but I couldn't bring myself to get halfway. Misha would kill me this time.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Even now that she's blind, she would still kill me. All I need to say is, we're safe. No problems yet. But I can't even say that. Not after what I've done. Commander, please, do me a favor. Let Misha know that we're proceeding into
C'est tout à fait ma cocotte.
That is all you need to say. Try not to talk about me, or ask questions. It would get ugly.
Ouais, bah je vais essayer, hein. Enfin, si elle est aveugle...
Loud, not silent like purity. Who approaches?
Salut!
Scout reports. You're the honorary commander that I was told about.
Oui, vraiment aveugle.
You already
J'ai essayé le centre mission pour
Lilith's scent. Stay for a while. We are in the middle of something interesting. I know that you defeated the heroes in Jonestown, but a siren has yet to taste like victory. For all the women lost in Fort Azmareth, for all the pain inflicted by this man's brothers and my sisters, he must be punished. I want to make him my brother in darkness. His right eye is already broken. Only his left is left. Enjoy the last moments of your sight, Mongo. Soon all you will have left to enjoy in this life will be the music of my sirens. Only the music can drown out the screams. Commander, please, gouge the eye out of this monster. I need rest. Sirens! Melodies, louder!
Ah, mais c'est compliqué tout ça.
Oh shoot, I
Et c'est
messed up.
Elite. Optionnel tuer Misha, optionnel tuer ou arracher les yeux de boue.
1, 2, 3,
Qui se passe à côté.
1, 2, 3, 4.
His eye, blind him. Make him... What a... Yeah.
Je sais pas pourquoi faire, même. Euthanasie. Échec tue Misha, terminé optionnel tue ou arracher les yeux du héros de Nirn. Bien lire. Équipe Onyx, nous avons confirmation d'un camp de sirènes sur un rocher sur le on donne 3 sirènes, ils sont postés périodiquement pour superviser les convois. Tuez-les.
All he did was wince. That is all I cared for. It was satisfying.
Quelque chose d'important plutôt.
Alive or dead, does it matter? We win.
Comment il peut grimacer alors que je peux pas le voir?
Let her know that I'm afraid, but I am also alive. Why are you still here? You too must have died.
Je sais pas ce qu'elle a fait du coup, Lilith là, mais sinon, en fait je l'ai tué parce que je pense pas qu'elle allait mourir. Bah si, je l'ai euthanasie. Mais c'est que j'avais pas envie de le laisser vivant en fait avec un œil arraché parce que je le connais pas. Du coup ouais, on va se faire attaquer, c'est certain. Ouais, je peux se faire quelque chose, on doit partir maintenant. On doit partir maintenant. Alors, je sais pas ce qu'elle a fait Lilith là, mais elle a dû trahir ses potes ou quoi, je sais pas trop mais...
We're doing just
Ah,
fine.
l'agent ici, ouais.
Sure is. Like she said, we joined the sirens at the same time. We were
C'est chiant
bound
ce
to
garde
buddy
de
up since
Alors,
we were
ça
both
monte là.
recruits.
Lilith est votre amie?
I can't do that. That's way too personal. The only thing I can tell you without upsetting Lilith
Alors, vous pouvez me parler de
Yes,
l'histoire entre
but
les
we
Bishop?
weren't always on the same team. There was a time when she was one of Freya's students. She's standing right over there?
Quelle était votre opinion sur Mélène?
Lilith is one of the best
C'est vrai.
sirens from what I've seen and heard. I look
Super.
forward to
Tu vois,
learning
elle
more
est plus
about
sérieuse, c'est sympa
her, now
d'être
that
sérieux,
we're
mais de temps en
finally
temps,
on a
pourquoi il y a
real
un
mission
putain
that
d'autre
tests
derrière?
all of our skills. I've heard rumors. Something involving a scuffle between the two. Lilith and Samantha haven't told me anything.
Ok, vous savez quelque chose sur
Might
la
not be
relation?
appropriate to say things like that when the two of us are standing next to each other.
On dirait que vous savez comme vous parlez.
Ready to go? Good. Talia went on ahead. She'll meet us at the Frozen Heart.
C'est dommage de pas être en
Our
bon
agent
terme.
will be there as well.
Ok. En gros, je suis dirigeant de 4 sirènes, maintenant 5 avec l'autre. Ça fait... responsable de 5 sirènes. Qui ont l'air d'être assez fortes en combat, j'ai l'impression, ouais.
Hey, don't worry. I'm not going to drink too much. Just another sip.
Et c'est bien.
Interesting activity.
Je n'aime pas faire affaire
Thanks.
avec les fidèles d'Azura. Faites vite.
There is nothing else to discuss.
We got the papers. Just a quick look through them and it gives us a better idea on what's going on over at Pazarath. Not yet. There's something I want to show you. Come. It isn't too far.
On va ouvrir tout le monde, genre. Ok, elle est très belle, hein. Je sais pas qui c'est qui l'a designé, mais ils l'ont très bien designé.
Que voulez-vous, Bard? Le dragon?
Je sais même pas que voulez-vous, Bard. Je suis pas un putain de Bard en fait.
Open the safe
Si, mais.
and take out the bottle. There it is. The thing that started this war.
Hétérosève.
Project Purity called it Aerosap. One drop is all it takes to increase the sex drive of female victims
C'est quoi sa
to
style?
extreme levels. It has no effect on males, just as Purity intended. Once the victim is under the influence, the effects are permanent, until they are past the age of childbearing. The psychological effects stay for a lifetime. All the sirens know the story of the Pinder twins that were poisoned by this.
En fait, c'est bien une grosse pute à vie, quoi. Alors que ça paraît
The
de ça
world
quand
was
c'est
so
une
close to destruction, and they didn't even know it. Not because of the Oblivion Crisis, but because of this. If Purity's plans hadn't been foiled, we'd all be under their reign. They would have distributed it to the wealthiest clients first. They would have controlled our populations. All it took was one person to stop that from happening. Serenity.
Ah, mais
the being
j'imagine
that our
bien.
order is named after. Her sacrifice to destroy the source of Aerosap set
Et dis
Purity
donc.
back years. Enough time for the Pinder family to grow and expand, to fight, and to die. Each generation has sacrificed everything to stop Purity. God's willing. Kasha will not be among them. That's the last bottle of Aerosap. It's not mine. It's Freya's.
Ah ouais. T'es sûr que c'est la dernière?
There. No.
Ah, elle l'a renversé, ok.
Freya doesn't need it. You've seen her. Probably talked to her. She
Oui,
kept
lui,
it as a
c'est ça.
trophy. I don't know how she got her hands on it in the first place, but it's definitely the last.
Je me souviens
There
pas
were
trop, non.
23 bottles accounted for and recovered purity manifests. All but one was destroyed. She showed
Pas
it
sûr que
off
ce soit
whenever we
dernièrement.
came up here for training. It gave us a motivation to persevere. There's no need for that now. We have all the motivation we need after everything that's happened. I wanted to ask you something, but it should wait. Talia must be getting worried sick. Ah, I forgot. Alare told me she was going to visit the college. Can you go get her? The rest of us will be waiting back at the carriage.
Bien sûr, je vais lui parler, petite là-bas. Le pauvre, elle est dépressif. Si elle me pose des questions, je vais dire ouais, je suis archimage en fait. En fait, ce qui me fume dans Skyrim, c'est que tu me parles, mais je suis genre le meilleur en tout, genre.
Commander, do we have to leave? I've always wanted to see the college since I was a little girl. This is where I belong.
Ouais,
I made a
ouais,
mistake
tu fais.
joining the Sirens. I thought I would be able to handle the killing, but I was wrong. So wrong. No one has ever left Serenity's silence. I don't want to be the first. I would think I'm a coward. You would do that? Thank you. It's so refreshing to see such
Ouais, puis
kind
le départ,
hands.
elle peut monter maintenant.
Oh, we should hurry then.
Bah. Le problème, c'est qu'elle veut partir, et enfin, je peux pas la forcer à rester. Ce qui risque d'être compliqué, c'est qu'ils vont peut-être l'assassiner, et ça me fait un peu chier. Mais ça veut dire que je défends peut-être pas la bonne cause, mais elle risque d'avoir des gros problèmes. Ça, c'est très compliqué en fait. Le problème, c'est qu'elle a rejoint un truc secret qui s'appelle les sirènes. Elle doit en parler à absolument personne. Et bah, si je la libère, elle peut très bien se faire choper et torturer par le projet pureté, et c'est pas le truc qui est c'est pas ouf quoi. Faites quoi en fait? Vous faites quoi en fait? Je comprends pas bien, vous êtes des victimes et c'est tout quoi. Un bouclier d'acier, un bouclier de fer. Ok, les gens, il y a eu un crash, j'ai l'impression que ça va pas mal cracher. En fait, c'est vu qu'il y a beaucoup de chargements, ça va cracher pas mal. Ça risque de me saouler pas mal par contre, parce que c'est bien les crashs, mais c'est bien 2 secondes genre. Du coup, je crois que j'avais fait une save... Ouais, c'est chiant que ça crache comme ça. Donc on se retrouve ici, donc là, faut rush.
Vous aimez l'art, hein? Moi, je préfère les...
One city down, one more to go. Ready? You don't need to tell me twice.
Yes, go. Ouais, il y a beaucoup de crash et c'est pas... ça m'emmerde. C'est très emmerdant. Parler à
We
nous.
got the reports, but we might have trouble. There was an odd man in
Comme
leather
d'habitude,
armor.
la sauvegarde automatique chiante.
He was obviously interested in me and the agent. Go ahead. Best if I stay here since he already saw me. Be careful.
Ok, vous voulez que j'aille voir ce qu'il me lance. T'inquiète pas, je vais le défoncer.
C'est Thorin, le propriétaire. Adressez-vous.
Et il y a beaucoup de chargements, ce qui est assez embêtant effectivement si bah, ça crash. Quoi.
Crying out loud, what is it now? Wait. It's you! Holy Night Mother, it's really you! The listener! Apologies, listener. It's just when I heard of the business at the sanctuary, I feared the worst of the Brotherhood. Must have been before you joined. Yep, I'm former Brotherhood.
Et où vous n'êtes plus avec eux?
Abandon you? I was practically cast out.
Comment osez-vous? Nous avons
Me and my buddies were all blamed for botching those strings of missions a while back. Don't know if you've ever heard of them Ashen women with a tendency to stick their fingers into our business. Every single damn mission. They showed up. Stole our kill, gold, whatever.
No.
And we were all freshly inducted into the Brotherhood. Poor sobs who barely killed a couple of mercs before we started going after the big contracts. All of us were kicked out for such pathetic attempts at fulfilling our duties. They didn't believe a word we said. Can you believe it? The hottest women this side of Tamriel beat us to the punch. Oh, don't go telling that story around the taverns. Sure do. Ever seen an Ashen without a katana and a dagger down her boots? Didn't think so. Why do you ask? Been looking at her too? Yeah, that's how we do it. Infiltrate their ranks and bring them down from within.
Yep.
Whatever you say. But if you change your mind, you know where to find me. Just as
C'est pour ça qu'il faut pas que tu pètes en...
I can get my entire crew ready within days. Remember, friend, when the entire world seems to have turned against you, you are not alone. Hey, Barkeeper, another drink. I'm dying of thirst over here. Shit, he's still here?
Ouais, donc il voulait la tuer, mais lui je lui ai dit. Il voulait la buter, mais je lui ai dit que, en gros, qu'il fallait pas interférer. Interférer dans. Ce qui est stylé, par contre, j'ai l'impression, c'est que ils avaient pas prévu tout ça. Enfin, si, ça a été prévu. Mais... Lire. La mort de Maline Varenne, on s'est pas obtenu retrouver le café dans le bras avec de l'eau et c'est des pétants qui l'ont chuté. Ce qui est stylé, c'est que vu tout fait dans Skyrim, ils doivent se dire waouh, regardez-moi ce mec stylé.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Assuming
he's not lying, I doubt he has any affiliations
with
the
c'est un
heroes
pote
or
à moi,
purity.
c'est rien, c'est juste un curieux comme si tu me
We should get going. The way back will be a lot more eventful, with a possible ambush. Remember to stay alert.
Ah, est-ce que je pourrais pas équiper par pur hasard invocation de Dournevir, comme ça s'il y a l'éventuel problème. C'est une destruction atomique. C'est parti. Donc là, il y a potentiellement une embuscade qui va se passer. Et les embuscades, c'est pas le feu du tout. Flaming Falls. Ah. Ok, l'urgence, ouais, voilà, ouais. Hop, ça crash. Et du coup, je supprimé quelques modes comme le mode Gaming Pause. Qui mettait un truc ici, je vais remettre simplement. Donc, on va continuer.
Tell anyone.
Really? Fameux de ton enfant, vous êtes saoul. Fameux d'être en forme quand on partira. Quand on chariot, on partira.
Oui.
Ah, ok, c'est parti. Oui, donc ça c'est le camp, ok.
I feel at peace.
Oh, je peux vous aider? Poor Lilith. I hate seeing her.
Là, je pense ça.
I guess Lilith told you, huh? As far as Marcus knew, Freya was just another instructor. The two never conversed. Matari knows Freya. I don't think she really disapproves. She might even be encouraging it. But that's our mistress. She knows best.
Make sure to check your weapons. If there is an ambush, we'll all need to be ready. Strange that you're asking me, but I understand. I'm not as forward with my emotions as some of the others. Seduction training is actually very easy to get through. But if you're trying to go for some of the more elegant missions, you'll need to be really good with your words and body. In the end, everyone passes seduction training. There will always be someone out there that will like your personality, no matter how aggressive or timid you may be.
C'est vrai. Bon, c'est parti, du coup. On continue. Aïe aïe. Elite. Qui a détruit un arbre, j'ai l'impression.
Commander?
Ah, ces vêtements, trop stylés. C'est moi, c'est moi.
Yes.
Vous
I
avez une
take it
minute?
you're going to ask about Misha.
On va pas en savoir plus si elle bouge pas. Je vais sauvegarder.
I take it you're going to ask about Misha.
Comme ça, je vais pouvoir lui dire, je voudrais en savoir plus et au final revenir là-dessus si ça lui plaît
When
pas.
I was still in training, my performance caught the attention of Freya. She offered to become my personal instructor. I'd heard rumors of her rigorous training exercises from my sisters. None were detailed enough to give me an idea of what to expect. I accepted. It wasn't long before I met her other students. Aradarum, Elda, Misha. There were others. Many perished at Pazarath, but these three were the ones that I grew closest to. Our lessons were very basic to begin with, but they evolved to become more complex and demanding. When we were finally given missions, Freya's true colors were shown. She tortured our targets, made them suffer needlessly to get information we could have easily gotten without violence. It wasn't long before she ordered us to do the same. I refused. In return, I was mocked by the same students that I had learned to call sisters. I was called weak and pathetic, unworthy. All except Misha. She was the one person who stayed silent, and the only one who provided comfort. I chose to stay, even as the insults and punishment for disobeying orders grew more severe. One day, Freya took us to Winterhold for what was supposed to be a routine training exercise. Disgusting acts upon one another. That's all you have to know. More determined than ever, I stood my ground. Freya's tolerance finally broke. She grabbed me by the neck and threw me to the ground. A barrage of punches and kicks followed. All she could do was laugh hysterically. I almost lost consciousness. When it was finally over, I got up to face Freya. She grinned. Before I could decide whether I was willing to sacrifice my life to kill this woman, I heard a whisper behind me. Lilith, you're a disgrace. I should have known. Misha had eventually reduced her contact with me until it became non-existent. That sentence confirmed everything. She was no longer a friend. She had become another casualty of Freya's teachings. So I turned around and set out to end her life. I got on top of her and gouged out her eyes. Screams. Freya started laughing. I stopped and realized what I was doing. I was in shock. Freya congratulated me for finally fulfilling the very first order she had given all of us: torture another being. Misha's screams had alerted the guards. We had no choice but to abandon her. It was several weeks before she showed up at the palace. She had escaped from jail and made her trek by foot, blind, bloody, and naked. Freya was elated to see her student again. All I could feel was shame. I left Freya's group and returned to resume my original training. I haven't spoken to Misha since. Maybe, but I'll deal with it when the time comes. I could have left Serenity Silence after the incident, but I didn't. Even though I disagreed with everything Freya put me through. I chose to stay. It would have been selfish of me otherwise. Our order was born out of a man's hope to save his family, and to destroy the evil that was infecting the world. How could I abandon a cause like that? I showed you at Winterhold why we choose to fight. Our methods might not be the same, but we are all sisters, fighting for something we can believe in.
Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est moyen là, le truc en fait, c'est pas
But you,
la bonne idée quoi.
what are you
De
fighting
lui
for?
crever les yeux
The Dragonborn, the slayer of Alduin,
pour l'aider, genre.
and
Ouais.
the savior of Nirn. Your destiny has been fulfilled. So why do you continue to fight?
Pourquoi? Pour le pureté est une menace pour tout le monde, devrait tout stopper. J'ai fait une promesse au marquis de
Even when
sa
you've
fille, j'ai
done
fait ça
more
pour
than
le ciel,
enough
je
for
suis né
this
pour combattre.
world,
C'est une promesse
you
au marquis.
keep your promises. I can respect that. And when there is nothing left to fight, what do you plan on doing with the rest of your life?
Je sais pas, j'y ai pas encore pensé. Je pense que quand c'est vieux pour sa retraite, il y aura toujours quelque chose à combattre. Il y aura toujours quelque chose à combattre.
Like all those who came before you.
Comme Michel,
I
elle.
don't know. Marcus
Concernant vous,
promised
les
us that we
sirènes de
would
la
all be
sérénité,
free
comme
when
ça.
purity was removed from the world. That all sirens would be welcome to live in Jonesstead, where we could live out the rest of our lives in peace. But he's dead. Matari has never spoken to us of the future, and none of us have really cared. She's like a mother to some of us. Her presence gives some of us hope that everything will be all right, no matter the outcome. Disbanding Serenity Sirens after the war was Marcus's plan. With Matari, I think she wants to keep the order intact, so we can all be together. Did I? Sorry, I misspoke. The truth is, I'm just as curious about our fate as you are. Understood. You should get some rest before we make our way to checkpoint 4. Pasosilumara. Peace be with you, sister. Get some sleep. We must be well rested if we're ambushed.
Et ben écoutez, je vais arrêter la vidéo ici, puis dans le prochain épisode on va tout simplement dormir. En tout cas j'espère que ça vous a plu, il y a eu quelques coupures mais je pense que je vais les régler. En tout cas je vais me débrouiller plus qu'il y ait ces coupures là dans le prochain épisode. Donc voilà, j'espère que cette vidéo vous a plu, et d'ici dans une prochaine vidéo, bye.